Well, good day and welcome to another tutorial by yours truly. I get requests from subscribers to produce tutorials on a variety of subjects. Obviously, I can't accommodate everyone. I did get a request from a Regan J asking if I would provide a video on how to make music swing. So Regan, for you and anybody else who happens to be interested, let's take a look and get to it. First of all, let's get rid of one misconception. Everybody thinks that swing is up-tempo and has to be moving. Not so. Swing can be done at a very slow tempo, and I've got a little example here for you. If I were to take a classic song by Louis Armstrong that everybody knows, I'll play it at the tempo that you'd normally hear it at, and then let's see if we can make it swing. First of all, let's pick a tempo. Okay, that seems about right. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 1. Not changing the tempo, let's make it swing. Okay, you kind of get the idea there. Of course, most of you know that to make something swing, you need syncopation. So I'd like to draw a very important consideration to you, and that's the use of triplets. And if you don't have an understanding of how triplets work, then no matter what kind of syncopation you use, it just isn't going to come across. So let's just take a moment to understand triplets and how they apply to the whole swing scenario. So let's leave the keyboard, and I'm just going to go over and show you something on a chart here. Okay, let's talk about triplets. Basically, a triplet is you put 3 of a kind into the same time as 2. So here I have 8 eighth notes in a 4/4 time signature, which we would count as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here I have 4 sets of triplets depicted with a 3 over top, or 3 and flagged with a line over top of it. Both are used. So if we look at the triplets, we can see that the first beat is lined up like so. The second beat is lined up like so, and so on and so forth. So here's my first beat, second beat, third beat, fourth beat. So here I'm getting these 3 into the same time as these 2 eighth notes. Now, for those of you who are mathematically inclined, if you actually wanted to see how it lines up, this note would come just on the other side of the second eighth note in the triplet, like so. Now, the easy way of counting these in is not by trying to work it out mathematically like this. All you simply have to do is call these guys what they really are, and that's a triplet. So we just simply count them as 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and they'll automatically fit in. So these would be counted as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and that's basically the story of the triplet. Now we can move on to 2 kinds of eighth notes. In the real world, there are 2 kinds of eighth notes. There are these guys and these guys. So to look at them, you can't really tell the difference from the 2. So let's look at the first one. These we're going to call straight eighths. The best way to describe what these notes are is that they are even. Basically, there's a 50-50 between these 2 guys. In other words, there's no difference between this eighth note and that eighth note. They're played very even. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Where do we find straight eighths? Well, interestingly enough, everything from Bach to rock. What about these guys? Well, these we're going to call roll eighths. The best way I can describe how these are played is that they are based on a form of a triplet. That's why we examine triplets first of all. So here I've got a quarter note and an eighth note over the triplet sign. The quarter note, of course, is equal to 2 eighth notes, and there's my third eighth note for my triplet. This will be played as if it were, for those mathematically inclined, it's 66 and 2/3 versus 33 and a third. What we're looking at is a long, short, long. So we just kind of roll them in the form of a triplet. And it comes across as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Where do we find these type of eighth notes? Roll eighths are used in blues, swing, and jazz, and especially swing. I can't stress enough the fact that if everything you do in swing, jazz, or blues is done correctly, but you fail to roll the eighth notes, the feel for your music, it just won't be right. In many cases, these styles use triplets, and straight eighths and triplets, they just don't cut it. Case in point here, I'll do a little bit of blues. I'm going to use some straight eighths and then mix them in with triplets. Don't think you'll get the right feel. I know I don't. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 and 1 and. If I roll those eighths, it'll make all the difference in the world. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Of course, it's not surprising that the roll eighths work so well with the triplets, considering the fact that they are part of a triplet anyway. Of course, the other element in swing and blues is syncopation. That's accomplished by offsetting one element that's played in one hand on either side of a strong beat versus another element that is played on the beat. Strong beats in 4/4 time are the first beat and the third beat. So I'm going to use, again, a little bit of blues here just to demonstrate. I'm going to play this note on the and just before the first beat of the bar, and this on the and just before the third beat of the bar. My left hand will be playing on the beat. Let's see if we can follow that. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So again, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 3 coming in on the beat. If I decide to hold the melody note, then my left hand will move off the beat onto the off beat. Let's take a look at that. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 on the beat, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back on the beat. Let's move the melody on the other side of the strong beat. That'll work just as well. Let's take a listen to that. Again, I'm going to count it in and roll those eights, because if I don't roll it, it just isn't going to happen. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. It may seem a little bit complicated, but you do have the option of pausing, going back, and watching it again. Okay, let's listen to something that actually is meant to swing. A little bit of Duke Ellington's Satin Doll. Interestingly enough, this beautiful swing song would be horrible if I brought everything on the beat and didn't offset it. Well, The fact is, it just wouldn't swing. Let's listen. Not for too long though. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and oh no, enough. Let's take a close look and see what I'm doing here to make this swing. Starting off on the beat together. Now that can happen on the strong beats, just that the more you syncopate it, the more swing it's going to sound like. There's a balance point there somewhere and you'll find it. Okay, so I'm starting on the beat together, and then I'm going to bring my right hand in ahead of the beat. And then bring this in on the beat and then come off beat again. Let's listen. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's take another look at that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and notice I didn't bring this guy in on the fourth beat. I would have lost some of the swing element. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now that doesn't cut it, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again 1 and 2 and 3 together, but and. Repeat up a whole tone. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. In the bridge, I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to bring the melody on the beat and bring my left hand off the beat. And there'll be a point a couple of times where I'll bring the melody off beat and immediately my right hand will go on the beat. Let's take a listen to that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on the beat 1 and 2 off the beat and 3 and 4 off the beat and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4 off on the beat 1 and 2 off the beat 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so that's kind of the feeling of swing. And again, as I mentioned, you can pause it, reverse it, go back and forth until it starts to make sense to you. I might suggest you just start with a simple song like a 2-chord wonder like Mary Had a Little Lamb. Played straight. Using the elements that I talked about, the syncopation, the roll-eights. Voo-be-doo-be-doo, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-dee-da-ga-da. So there you have it. Our first little kind of introduction to swing. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you enjoyed it or not. Until next time, yours truly, Dave Burt, saying have a great day and keep on playing. Bye for now.